Hello and welcome, each and every one of you. With you today is me, Daiga, multilinguistic international coach therapist from DCTcentre, and joining me again is Morganne Rayne, Adept, visionary spiritual guide, ceremonialist and artist. Hello, Morgan.
Good morning.
It's
We're
very nice
enjoying
to
a
see you
beautiful,
again.
oh, thank you. We're enjoying a very icy, very beautiful morning. It's very sparkly out there. Um, I don't know if I'll just let the audience know I've had trouble with my computer all morning. So we're going to,
We try do our best. That's all we can do, really.
yeah,
And just before we started the show, we
I
talk
don't know if I'm
about
still
frustration.
there, but it looks,
I still hear you, so I hope
oh,
all our
oh good.
viewers hear you as well. So, worst case
Okay,
scenario,
okay.
if we lose picture, hopefully we won't lose the sound. So,
Okay, very good. Very good. Well, we'll just proceed and um it brings me back just being present to what is. And sometimes we want to not be present to right where we are. So in this day, I was feeling very frustrated with computer and my connectivity because I had a lot of things I needed to do today, and I still have appointments this afternoon and clients this afternoon. So, I just have to be very present to what is disconnected within me. So, so we'll just start there because I think sometimes we get disconnected, especially when we start to feel frustration and we feel at the mercy of. This morning, I was feeling at the mercy of my computer, and that's not truth. That's just computer. That's just stuff. So when we're feeling frustration, I say stop and feel the frustration, find out where that's coming from, be present to it, be willing to release it if um, and start again. So it's just being present to where you are. So already I'm calming down because I chose to just be present with the frustration, um, knowing that that's true. So I think things are stabilizing here on the computer, which is really good. So be present to what is.
yeah, I think we lots of times suffering from not be able be present or not be able accept what it is and
Yeah, I
go
think that
through this.
I think too that when people get to the place like I really didn't want my computer to be crashing, um, I- and I think that what we do rather than just what we do is keep trying to push it and get angry with it and use that energy inappropriately. Where just coming back center and just realizing, oh well, this is going on, but it's really not truth and it's not affecting me unless I allow it to. So we can use that example in many areas of our life. If we're feeling stuck or we're feeling mostly stuck, I would say. When people are feeling stuck, it's like, what do you do in those situations? Right. And you can look at your patterns of how you behave when you're stuck. Sometimes people get mad. I have a son that throws things when he gets stuck. He You got to kind of move out of the way because you don't know if it's going to fly across the room, because that's just how he responds to his stuckness. So just
Throwing
me.
toys out of pram, yeah?
Say again?
She's just throwing the toys out of the pram, yeah?
Yeah, exactly. Throwing the toys out of the pram. I love that. Yeah, just what do you do, right? So that's a reaction. That's not a response. It's just reacting to frustration. I was reacting to frustration this morning. But when you stop and like get a little bit conscious around things, you now can respond. And response and reaction are two different things. So when we respond, there's some consciousness involved, and being conscious about it's like, okay, I'm conscious, I'm frustrated, I'm was letting a computer dictate how I feel, right? How silly. But we do that all the time. We let automobiles dictate how we feel, other people, situations. But the truth is, if we are sovereign beings, then we are at the helm, and we steer this ship where we're going, right? And for me, my ship, I would like to go smooth sailing and have a beautiful day, and open myself to full expression and be in that place of response as opposed to reactivity.
Yeah, that would be great. But I think we all getting affected by okay, uh, uh, stuff like computers, like TVs, like cars. We all getting affected by misworking of them. Time and time again, they going down. Something is wrong, and they crashing, and an end we have to somehow deal with all that, because like you said, you already have clients planned today, yeah, and other things. But I don't know, I'm definitely not where you are, because I feel like I can't 100% like go like, okay, that's computer, that's only computer. It's not going to affect me, and everything will turn good or anything. I can't. I from one point I'm looking at that, and yes, okay, I understand it's computer, but at the end of the day, if I have clients lined up like you do, yeah, at the moment, and I need this computer to communicate with them, yeah, then it's will get me out of will put me in this frustrating state, yeah.
Yeah, and that's when you just become present to the frustration. And those are those areas, that are still unhealed within you. So you can't heal it, though, if you don't respond to the feeling. So that feeling of frustration is just as legit a feeling as any other feeling. And so it can identify a pattern that we over and over again. It can just identify right now, right? So then you can choose. You can be at choice. I love being at choice. Sometimes we don't think we're at choice. But in the midst of frustration, you can still choose wake where, or choose let the reactivity take you to whatever that takes. Be throwing something, just be getting mad. It could pass that, what do they call that, kick the dog, that you can pass that along. Just do that. It's being awake and aware, saying, oh yeah, here's that frustration again. When I get stuck, this is what I feel. And so that's kind of where I am this morning. As the time was ticking away for showtime, my computer was turning off. And so I just let it turn off. And I actually assisted it by turning it off all the way and restarting it again. And, sometimes we have to do that with our lives. Sometimes we just have to shut down, acknowledge the frustration, stop what we're doing, go with, shut it all down, and begin again. And so that's what I did. And it seems like we are, it seems like pretty clear communication right now.
I think from my IT department point of view, shutting down computer is actually one of the best solutions when something goes wrong and something is not responding. Then shutting
Right?
down computer is the best solution, what he always recommends to everyone.
But we don't shut ourselves down, right? Sometimes we just keep pushing with the frustration, and then the universe is so clever. It will assist you in in stopping if that's what you need to do, right? The universe can give you a lot of good signals, like you can get sick, or you can injure yourself, or you could do any of those ridiculous things that make you stop. But if something's calling you to just stop where you are, experience what you're experiencing, then we don't need the catastrophes to continue to poke at us and say, pay attention. What are you doing? Right. So with frustration is such a energy packed emotion, right? You know what that feels like, that frustration. It feels like there's an internal internal collapsing, and then we push it out to externalize it. But again, it's being just present to where you are and starting again. And that's the beauty of it. It's like, oh yeah, I can start over again every time, anytime. The phrase that many years ago I went to, I was actually, this was kind of a bit of a miracle that happened. I had come across a book. This is probably, I'd say 40 years ago, maybe a little bit more. I came across a book. I can't even remember the name of the book, but it was about manifestation. And I like read the book like in an hour. I just like read the book. And then on the back was a contact information. And I don't know why I did it, but I called them up. Hey, I enjoyed your book, and like I'm talking to the author of the book. And he goes, it was a gentleman. He goes, hey, we're giving a workshop this weekend in San Francisco. Well, I live up near, so north of that. We'd love to have you. Well, at that time, I had no way. I had a couple of kids at home. I couldn't just take off and leave them. I really didn't have money to travel. So I had all these reasons that said, oh, you shouldn't go. Yet here this book shows up. Here I read the entire thing. I am guided to contact the number at the back of the book. Like all that's going on. Oh, there's a workshop. Part of me was like, yeah. And then like the reality kind of hits the fan, like, oh, what about the kids? How about where are you gonna get the money? So this is what I did. Got off the phone with that person, got really quiet, And I said, God, what do you want me to do? Please guide me here. Please guide me here. So this is where miracles get to show up. Not even a half hour later, I got a phone call from a woman who had bought a car from me. And after she had bought the car, about a month later, she hadn't finished paying me for the car. Something happened to the car, so it didn't work anymore. And she got frustrated, angry, and blamed it on me, even though she had already had the car for a month, whatever. Well, I don't know what happened, but she called I have the rest of your money for you. And she was so excited to finish paying for the car. Apparently she got it fixed. It was no big deal. So now I have money where I can buy an airline ticket. I didn't have quite enough to rent a hotel, but that was okay. And then, but I had enough to buy an airline ticket. So a few hours later, I was talking to one of the moms that where my kids go to school, and I was telling her about what happened, and I shared with her about the miracle of the money showing. She goes, how about I take care of your kids while you go? So that afternoon, I bought a ticket to go to San Francisco, not having enough for a hotel. It didn't matter. I figured God was in charge here. Hustled my little kids off to my friend's house, left, got to San Francisco, got to the facility where they were having the workshop. And we're in the workshop, and it is wonderful. It's a wonderful experience. And then a woman stood up and she said, I was led to ask if anyone needs a place to stay tonight. We have an extra room in our house.
Amazing.
So I like, hey. And she and I, we hit it off. She and her husband and I, and she and I, it was just, we were a match made in heaven. I went home with them, and they lived in a beautiful home. And then of course now they're my tour guides. They are wanting to provide for me. I ate like a queen all weekend, and it's like all those principles of manifestation. So this is what it is. It was a workshop on manifestation. I manifested from the get-go, every bit of it. So was it ever about money? Was it ever about money? It was never about money. It was about my desire. It was always about my desire, and trusting that the universe was fulfilling my desire. We go through life, just in that reactivity, right? There's not enough. It's, I don't know how, we use that kind of languaging. But when you stop and you say, okay, well, show me how. Show me how. I'm here where I'm to know. So I shared that story with our audience because, it's really the way it works. We can close it off through our reactivity, or we can surrender to the moment and be present in the moment and allow ourselves to be shown how, where our good is. And so anyway, that's one of many stories I have on manifestation, but that's one of my first ones where something I wanted could happen, because it has to be present to the moment and just allow the universe to orchestrate it all. So
yeah, I actually, if I'm looking back, my way of spirituality and learning and everything what I know now. I think it was very similar like you do, because I never had like so much money that I nicely and easily do things what I would like to do. Yeah. Oh, doesn't matter how much it costs. I do it. Yeah. So when I put some sort of, I think even without really 100% understanding, I'm actually manifesting this. Yeah. I put my attention. I started um, a counseling course after this story already. My viewers already know this story that I was doing management courses, and in management courses was and I was leading team and everything, and in those courses there was some part of psychology, and I just like more. I felt like I'm drawn more to this psychology part than actually leading team leading part. Yeah, what I been in original actually learning. And so I choose to go this way, and I went a course, and I managed somehow. Every year was like to get far. I still need like manifest and be strong for, okay, that's it, I'm getting to this next level. Yeah. And somehow this money appeared, not like I had abundance of lots of money and I just choose to pay for this course, but somehow money for this course appeared one way or other.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then when I was in this counseling course, I find that I really don't believe in counseling and psychotherapy so much. Yeah. That I feel like with those skills I able to move people forwards and help them. So I again make my decision, and that was like sort of decision between, do I go next level, and there wasn't enough money to finish off 2 year course. You can spread apart those last 2 years, and I managed to spread apart those 2 years, and I finish life coaching, NLP life coaching in between, and finish Sue Stone Foundation accredited course, yeah, in between this year. And then the last year to actually get diploma in counseling and psychotherapy for me was like, bloody hell, do I really have to go there? It's nothing interesting. In this course, I already learned this, how to help. But here I still have to say, yes, I see. How do you feel about that? Yeah, and after 35 sessions, I actually have clients who 35 sessions come to me, and I still have to tell them, how do you feel about that? I can see you struggling. Yeah, and I was like, I was climbing, I really, to get diploma, I was climbing walls at that point, because all my intention was of moving different way and working my own practice with skills what I learned in NLP and Sue Stone Foundation. Yeah. So that's where I went. But I was again, every time when I want to put this step forward, I was supplied with money for it.
Yep, every time. And it has nothing to do about the money. It has to do with the intention. What's the intention? And your intention was, you're a healer. So, you're gonna, if you surrender to that, then you're shown. And it's not that those other classes didn't help you, because it might have given you some kind of foundation you needed to.
No, I think, Morgan, it's helped me definitely.
Yeah.
Absolutely should, because I have, like you said, I have this foundation now.
Mm-hmm.
And I can, at time and time again, I can use this. I can see you struggling, yeah? Only
Mm-hmm.
after I can see you struggling, I can give them some techniques how to change this for better.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
clients, I don't have clients who coming back to me. I don't remember last time when client came back to me for 35 sessions. Yes, they may be coming back 35 times in 7 or 8 years. Yeah,
Mhm.
but they coming back to check in or find out something new. When I
Exactly.
text them, yes, I have some other interesting things what to show you. I learned something new. Maybe you want to use it, yeah. And they check in, and I give them those skills. Even from
Yeah.
our videos, yeah, I'm learning so much, and I'm giving far those skills to my clients, yeah.
Beautiful. Yeah.
I'm
That's
I'm I'm spreading this out, yeah. It's not
yeah.
like
Yeah.
we just chatting and it disappears. No, it's all goes far and far.
Mm-hmm. Yep. You're present in the moment and allowing it to flow, which is that's what we're supposed to be doing. And things change, right? People change, consciousness changes. So if you're not present to what's going on, how can you be of divine assistance, right? So when we're present to the moment, just what's going on, like even with my frustration, they'll go, well, you're supposed to be, so healed and all that. Well, I'm still human. And that's the point. It's allowing the divine part of you to also show up in the midst of the humanness. I have this little quote that says about peace. It's like peace is not. See, how does it go? Um, well, hold on, I'll grab it. See, it sits up on my fireplace. It says peace. It does not mean to be in a place where there is no noise, trouble, or hard work. It means to be in the midst of those things and still be calm in your heart, right? But you could do anything. What do we choose in the moment, right? And if we look at, you can look at the global things, and if, oh, things are really coming apart, right? We can think that because they look like they're coming apart. Sometimes things have to come apart so the right things can come together, right? So
I
things,
can't I can't wait when everything comes apart, to be honest.
that's right. We want it to
I
come
can't.
apart. So let it come apart. It's like how I was with the computer. Okay. Then just die. Just let's just let me help you. Let me turn it all down.
Let me help you die.
Because it was trying to do something, and and look, we've had pretty good connectivity since I just allowed it to just go through what it needed to do, and me try not to force it to do something that it wasn't ready to do. So but you can only do that when you're present, when you just get present to the moment. be at peace in the midst of the frustration. Just go within and let it come apart. We use a lot of energy to try to keep things hanging on. And it's like wasted energy where you could be in that just relaxed pose, that peace. Go for a walk, go do some deep breathing, right? Get present within yourself. And that way, then we can move fortified and refreshed and oxygenated back to our lives, and move forward in a positive way.
Yeah, yeah, that's deep teachings to actually stay positive even then when you are frustrated about something, and remember be in the moment.
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
think my clients a lot of times are telling me that, oh, for you it's much better, you've been doing this for years, for you it's absolutely no work involved, and everything is diddly boo and everything is fine. And then I tell them I actually working on myself every single day, and I'm learning every single day. I
Yep.
actually, since I started this path, that I don't have time for reading some books which one is nothing to do with coaching or nothing to do with some teachings, yeah, or watching something which is nothing to do with some learning one way or other, because I constantly learn. And even if I like watching films, it relaxes me. I
Mm-hmm.
like watching films about especially long ones, about families and how everything goes there, and uh, one life, another life, and all the rest of it. And even then, when I'm watching some films, I'm getting out of those films something which is for me again. I sort of lead to films which one teach me something.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Every
Yeah,
moment is a
even then.
yep. Absolutely. Every moment is a teaching moment. I just, as you were talking, I know this sounds so random, but when people sneeze and someone else is around, they go, bless you, right?
Hmm.
You get that, right? And a lot of times we hear it and it's just kind of an automatic thing. Uh, I think it was about a year or so ago, my little granddaughter was here. So she must have been about 3 at that time. And I let fly a sneeze. I think my whole body sneezed. And then this quiet little voice said, bless you, grandmama. Like I received that. It was like really being present to the blessing. Especially you haven't been blessed till you've been blessed by a 3-year-old. Because it came from her heart, that blessing. It wasn't automatic. It was from her heart. She was present. So then I got to feel the blessing, experience the blessing, being present.
I actually, even now, I feel this blessing when you're talking about it. I have goosebumps. So
Yeah,
that was such a blessing,
that's right.
which
And
one still
yep,
gives goosebumps to me after years or more.
that's right. That's because it's alive in love. It's alive. When I feel it again, I can just like it emanates from me. So I love that you feel the blessing too. Um, yeah,
Yeah.
and that's I mean, can you imagine that when you are in your world, that every word that you're saying is so imbued in deep meaning and from the heart rather than from just reactivity or or what I'm supposed to say. It's kind of like, sometimes we say thank you and it's just automatic. There's no presence in it. It's just automatic. Like you can really get that at the grocery store sometimes when people, hi, how are you? And they're just running your stuff through. And I always look for their name tag and I go, oh, I'm doing really great, or I'm doing fabulous. And I say their name. And when you say their name, they get present. They
just jump out of matrix.
That's correct. And they come back.
I'm not doing that. I'm not. That's actually very great idea about doing name tags. But what I'm doing, in England, there in the shops usually is this. They ask, "How are you? Yeah. Are you okay?" But they're doing their job. Yeah, not looking at you. And I always thanks. I'm fine. How are you doing? How long you been today already on a shift? Yeah, and I instead of letting them say those normal things, what they couple sentences say to everyone. Yeah, I getting back to the same questions about them, about their lives. Yeah, and they jumping out the same way. Yeah,
that's right. Yeah, they come present with you. And that's the point. I'd love to tell one more story if I have time to tell a beautiful story. Okay, so I was this was, let me think how long ago this was. I was teaching metaphysics, and I think when at that time we were talking about unconditional love, which I've been teaching unconditional love for a long time. So I had gone I love going into the bank. And, back in those days, you take your paycheck and you go to the bank and, and I always liked doing that rather than go through because, well, I don't know why. I just like it. I even like standing in the line and waiting my turn. So this one day I'm in the bank and look, there's this lady, there's like 4 tellers, but there's this one lady, like her whole energy was so, I wouldn't call it dark, but I'd call it so sad. You could just look at her and feel and experience this sadness. And so I noticed her and I thought, I think I'm just going to send her some love, right? Just project love at her. That was all. The next time I went in, and she was not my teller. It was just, I saw another teller and I left. The next time I went in, she was there, same kind of energy. And I go, oh, there she is again. I'm just going to love this lady. I'm just going to love her with all my heart. And this time she was my teller. When it was my turn, she was my teller. And so same thing. She's like, does not give me any eye contact. I'm just present with her, loving her, not even trying to get her to come out, just love. And then pretty soon her eyes lifted up at me and she goes, hi, how are you? I said, I'm really good. How are you? She goes, I'm okay. I said, well, bless you. And I left. I go back in the next time. There's a teller all lined up and she sees me and she waves to me this time. And I just keep sending her love, and I'm standing in line and I'm waiting my turn, and I don't know who I'm going to go see, but I happen to go to her again. So I went, and she was like present with me, happy to see me. Why? I didn't give her any magic words. All I did was love her. Okay, so next time I go in, she sees me coming through the door and she is like waving at me. She's waving me over. And there's a line. And so I went over and she goes, I got to tell you something. And I go, what? And I don't know who you are and I don't know what you do, but when you're here, I feel loved. She said, when I first saw you, I was about ready to lose my job. She said, but something changed. Something changed. She goes, and I think it has to do with you. And I just listened to her and I said, well, I remember the first time I saw you and you looked so depressed and so sad that all I could do was love you. I just loved you. And I said, I have loved you ever since then. I continue to love you. She says, well, this is what your love has done. She goes, I've been promoted to a management position at another bank. She goes, I went totally losing to being promoted. And it's run into her a couple of times throughout the years. I remember that. She remembers that the power of love and being present. Like if I had just been a regular person, I might not have even noticed that she was sad, but I did. And I knew that she was who God put before me to love, not for any reason other than just to love her unconditionally. And so when people, it's like the blessing thing, right? When people love from the heart or bless from the heart, then others experience that and it can change their lives. And so that was my big test on unconditional love, that there was nothing I was looking for in return. I just loved her because I could and I can, and we can all do that. And so when we're looking at our world and we're looking at people who are afraid and sad and scared, what can we do? We can love them. We can love them unconditionally right where they are and not expecting anything in return at all. But what happens is your life gets blessed because of it, because you're an open portal for that love to just come through and bless others. So that's another sweet story I have on just being present with people, loving people.
Maybe we today have some meditation about that as well, about unconditional love or something.
Let's do one, and I think what is going to happen here is unconditional love for self. Let's do that.
Okay.
How about that? As long as that's where Source is leading me, we'll do that. Are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay. All right, beloveds, let's come together. Allow yourself to first just connect with yourself. Acknowledge right where you are. Acknowledge your body. Just kind of feel it. What is it like today? How's your body feeling? You got any ache pains? Just acknowledge that they're there. Oh, yeah. Back's a little stiff. Oh, okay. I feel you. Just come present to it. Not that you need to do anything about it. Just acknowledge it. And then I ask you to bring your attention to your feet. And bringing your attention to your feet assists one in becoming grounded. And so just feel your feet and how they connect to the floor. And how are you feeling about your feet connecting to the floor? Is it hard? Do you have a rug underneath it? Are you wearing shoes? Just be present and invite a beautiful breath in. And just let that relax your body as you slowly let it out. Becoming present in your body. Becoming present with your breath. Another breath in. And breath out. You're going to do another conscious breath, being very present with your breath. And slowly breathe in this time, watching where does that go? And where does it stop? And then let it go. Becoming present with your breath allows you to remember when you need to breathe deeply, be more present. So being conscious of your body, being conscious of your breath. Now let's move to your heart. Move to your heart area. And maybe it's your physical beating heart. And we'll start there with your beautiful beating heart. And, just contemplate the mystery of that beating heart, that there is nothing that you can do to beat that heart. That is just part of who you are, that beating heart. And that heart beats. That heart beats. It's alive. And just be present with the beating of your heart. And we're going to just sit quiet for a moment and take beautiful breaths into your heart and just focus upon your heart. Bring your attention to your heart and breathe into your heart. Notice if your mind is starting to wander, bring it back to your heart. Focusing on your heart and your breath, allowing yourself to become more and more present to yourself. And this is a gift for you as you detach from the world, to become so present of your breath and your heartbeat and your body. Focus on your heart. Breathe some sweet breaths into your heart. Just notice how you're feeling. Notice how you're being. For me, I just get a greater sense of calm and peace as I focus on my heart, my breath, my body, detached from anything else that's going on with anyone else or the world. And now, as we are present within our own beingness, I am going to do a prayer for everyone here. And just continue to focus on your heart and your breath and your body as I join in conscious union with the divine source and substance of all that is, ever has been, and ever will be. I join in conscious union with divine source creator that from its own divine mind conceived of who I am, conceived of who each individual listening now or in the future. Within the divine mind of source creator, God, the universe, each was created. Within that mind, a divine idea. And that idea becomes form. And that divine idea of who I am was breathed into this form. Take a breath in. I am the divine idea of God breathed into this form, and let that breath go. And so in joining my mind with divine mind, I now speak my word that I am and we are all in that divine union of that mind. Therefore, our minds are one with divine mind, clear, creative, open, directive, energetically alive, because we are one with the mind of God. I am one with the divine love of God, that unconditional love of God that loves all its creations. And I allow that divine love of God and my heart to be joined in union, knowing that my heart and God's heart are one heart, and that God's heart and everyone's heart are one love, one unconditional love. And use your own imagination to imagine yourself in union with divine unconditional love. Just imagine what that would feel and how your heart would feel if you're just unconditional love. And now imagine everyone around you, their heart at one unconditional love. And just breathe that in and experience that unconditional love. So we know that our minds and our hearts, our very beings are in union with divine source. And so I speak my word that everyone here that can hear, and those who don't even know they're hearing, that they hear the frequency of these words, and that their minds and their hearts and their bodies and their beings are open this day to be fully present, to receive the love and the light, the divine messages, that we all have the capacity to be present to the moment and at choice in the moment, to love, to allow love in and allow love out, like the breath. Love in, love out, love in, love out, just like the breath. Nothing to hold on to, just the flow and release. So go back to your feet. Feel and experience your feet. Are you feeling present in your feet? Become aware of your body. Become present to how your body's feeling. Come to your heart. Into your breath. And as we invite this divine, we are now at oneness. We are the divine having a human experience. And we elevate that human experience by connecting to source, connecting to love, connecting to the presence, connecting to the now. Breath in, breath out. You are one. You are loved. And so it is. Amen.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. It was
So
wonderful. It was another wonderful meditation. I think everybody who is watching now and who will watch in future will appreciate that. I'm done out, guys. Thank you very much, everybody, for watching. Do you want to add something, Morgan, today? I think we said already quite enough today. So thank you, everybody, for watching. If you like my videos, please go back. If you first time see this video, go back. This one is already number 19. Next will be Jubilee video 20. You need, for Jubilee video, you need talk to your guides and be prepared for something Jubilee.
Yep, they love to surprise, don't they?
Yes, they do. And always those surprises is sort of in right time, right place, and it comes for one reason or other, but it's just right timing.
Yep.
And please, everybody who is watching, don't forget like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube videos for us to be able to reach more and more people and spread our love, unconditional love to everybody around us and wherever you are in the world. Even I and Morgan is so many thousands of miles apart, but it feels like she's here and I feel her energy like she's in the room with me. And I'm absolutely sure at that time when you will watch videos, you will feel she's with you in the room. I getting emotional here because this meditation was really bringing up this unconditional love, even when I maybe don't want to be so emotional on the screen, but
yeah,
that's how it is. Please like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube videos, and see you next week again. God bless
everybody.